Welcome back. It's time for some more Overwatch action. I'm Achilles here with Wolf again. This time getting ready to dive into another very interesting series. Seoul Dynasty going up against the Philadelphia Fusion. Both of these teams have clinched their spots in the playoffs. Fusion in the play-ins at the moment. The Seoul Dynasty still vying for that top 6 spot so they can avoid the play-ins.
And a win here would definitely put them as close as they can get.
In pole position.
Pretty uniquely, these two teams are playing their final match of the regular season. Here are the season standings for those teams in the middle of the pack where Dynasty finds themselves and Fusion finds themselves at the bottom part there. All of these teams will be at least in play-ins. And you can see Hangzhou Spark has obviously clinched their top 6. So these are the things that we're looking at here right now. These are the final moments for these teams being decided. And for Dynasty and Fusion, everything that's in their power will be decided right now. And for Fusion, obviously, they want to move up in those play-in standings so they can get a better seed, because that is a single elimination bracket.
Yeah, I mean, Dynasty, in that last series that they had, looking pretty good. We saw Fleta starting. It was the first time in a while that he has been yielded on the starting roster. Been seeing a lot of illicit as of late, but Fleta came back in, and he showed why in the past he has been the meta. Fantastic performance from him. Probably the best matchup we've seen from him all season long.
And Fleta's been an extremely inconsistent player throughout his career. I mean, even going as far back as Flash Lux, but if it's the Fleta we got last match against the Dragons that we see here, that is what we need to see. I mean, Fleta, he played well. The Dragons have been trending downward right now, so let's not look too much into this yet, I'd say, in terms of how he's doing. We may see Illicit subbed in later on. There's a lot of questions that we're going to find the answers to.
All right, well, let's go ahead and bring out our first team, though. See if they can find that victory and get closer to that top 6 position. Let's go ahead and welcome them to the stage, the Seoul Dynasty.
Reppin' 82, I'm in Salt City.
Every team in the Overwatch League has to play 28 matches, and this is the final match for Seoul and Philadelphia. Seen a lot of changes to this roster versus last year's over the 2019 season. So many rookie players coming into this team. Jekse joining early on, but later on fits. Illicit coming into the roster. Marvel, a new addition. And this team has a very different look than how they started as Lunatic High. And this is a win for them to close out regular season, to put themselves closer to their first playoffs. They didn't make any playoffs last year. So let's see if they can actually get that playoff they've been seeking so long with so many changes.
Well, let's see if they can make it into that top 6. Taking down Philly Fusion would be a very big boon for that. Let's go ahead and bring out their opponents. So please welcome them, the Philadelphia Fusion.
Fusion, defending finalists of the 2018 season. A little bit inconsistent this season towards the end of things here, as we have gone back into a 2-2-2 meta. You can bet that Fusion are looking to finish this strong with the players they've built this roster for, with a meta that we saw last year, a meta that took them through the play-ins or through the bottom of the bracket leading up to the finals. Fusion started at the bottom last year, made it all the way there. And this is the final regular season match for this squad that could do the same thing this year. They've guaranteed their spot in play-ins. They're just looking for a better seed here.
Well, since the start of Stage 4, we've been seeing some solid performances coming out of EQO and Carpe as usual. Given the meta, he's freed up a lot more to play on that Widowmaker compared to previous stages. But Fitz, especially in that most recent matchup, alongside Fleta's performance on the Pharah and the Meng, we saw some great moments for Fitz on the Widowmaker as well.
Yeah, Fitz, in Stage 4 here, having some better stats in terms of average damage done per 10 minutes, but in others, like clutching those scoped critical hits, Carpe is leading quite substantially. Teamfight win rate pretty similar between these two. So you're looking at Carpe to get, basically final blows, getting those eliminations. He gets the first kill more often. He has more final blows. It's Fitz on the other side that's doing more consistent damage.
Well, let's see who can come out on top here today. Looking at our map set presented by Toyota, we'll be starting on Lijiang, then moving to Volskaya, into Blizzard World for Hybrid, and then potentially round things out on Havana, unless we can get into a Game 5. It was looking like we were going to have one there between the Valiant and the Uprising. Did not happen. We'll see if we can get a Game 5 here in this very important set.
Very unique map pool that we have here for this match in particular. We'll see our first maps of Blizzard World and Volskaya of the day. as we're heading into the evening here in Los Angeles. There's a lot on the line for these two teams. For Seoul especially, to be able to skip that play-in tournament would be a massive boon for them. And for Fusion, you know, to close out this season with a bang against a very much trending upward Seoul Dynasty would at least help their seeding and also probably morale heading into that very important play-in tournament.
See some smiles there and a couple things being tossed around on stage. But seems like Fusion in good spirits coming into this series. As we go ahead and get ready to start things off. Control Center going to be the first round of Lijiang Tower. Let's see just how far into Lijiang we can go. How close these two teams are going to be when they do finally square up. At the moment, looking like we're going to have a perfect mirror coming through the Reaper May, as well as that Moira Lucio. So a lot of healing for both of these teams.
Yeah, Fleta taking up the May here, since he will start over Illicit. And as this map goes longer, as you say, there's a very good chance we will see Fleta. It was Illicit over Fleta in that Game 5 on the same map against the Guangzhou Charge, where he choked. Now Fleta is in. See if he can redeem himself.
Fits right up here in front, trying to break down that barrier, but it says it's going to be frozen, so Sato comes up with that first kill. Now Fleta as well. Going to get caught out, taken down. Philadelphia Fusion starting things off fantastically. They'll be able to get that first lockdown here on the point, just looking to get some extra cleanup kills.
Jaehong building a ton more energy than Boombox here, or rather Ultimate Charge, because they took more damage. He obviously got higher healing output, so he's going to be able to reapproach with Coalescence, and they need it to be good. But the problem is that Eco is going to try to lock them up the Blizzard first.
Oh yeah. Coalescence. Likely not going to be enough healing to try to sustain through that one. Michelle going to have to be on the spot, potentially with that Blizzard Eat. Get that D-Matrix set up. EQO taking a bit of damage here as the Coalescence will expire now. Boombox has his ready to go. EQO pushing forward.
Trying to freeze
Diva would
Diva.
love to get the freeze there on a Michelle. Is unable to do so, but instead Toby completely segregates himself from the rest of the Dynasty squad and will get taken down. Now Michelle is out of the mech, but they don't even need to use the Blizzard right now. Philly Fusion just completely winning the fight otherwise.
Yep, they won it with a later Coalescence there, and that's how Toby got picked. Boombox calling that target out. That was the deterrent. Toby was trying to prevent EQO from getting the freeze onto Michelle. That's why he was over there, because Michelle was in a precarious position, but he ended up dying in the process. Has Sound Barrier. I mean, Seoul Dynasty, again, still have the ult lead here, but utilizing it's difficult.
Wall comes up, Carpe trying to get that nice back angle there on the Fleta, nearly takes him down. Blizzard comes in from EQO, no chance underneath. The Sound Barrier is there from Toby, trying to get them all alive, but Fleta's still going to be taken down. He's 11% away from his own Blizzard. Now Marvel gone as well. And that's just going to be another clear-cut fight victory for the Philadelphia Fusion.
It's looking really bad for Seoul Dynasty right now. The ability to initiate a fight with Blizzard is irrelevant if you can't enter the gateway, right? I mean, this doorway, which is the gateway to the point, is being very well guarded now. They are going to break through as Fusion back away to try to utilize this Sound Barrier and Coalescence defensively. There is an opening.
Fleta nearly getting taken down, would have been catastrophic for the side of the Dynasty. It's going to be the Coalescence and the Sound Barrier dropped in by the Philadelphia Fusion as Fleta plays up into the front. Throws down the wall to ensure that the Blizzard will not get eaten, but EQO comes in, manages to take him down, and so far the Blizzard has only gotten the Supercharger. Fitz going in with a Death Blossom, manages to find Sato just moments before, and then they follow up on Carpe. So a fighting chance now for the Seoul Dynasty to try to get this flip. Still do have a self-destruct, the Supercharger is rolling. They lose out on Toby, so a considerable amount of that healing now taken away from the Dynasty. However, Fitz comes in, manages to find a double kill. You get the cleanup here onto Poco. That will be the flip coming in at 99%.
A very close call across the board. I mean, on this map in particular, you know, winning the first fight in a meta like this, very similar to GOATS, because of the choke point control that you have, you almost win the round every time. And Seoul flipped it, finally breaking through with that ult advantage. And they still hold one, albeit slight. They're on the defense. Fusion are just going to eco push their way into a few of these team fights to try to catch up.
See if they can take this in somewhat of a neutral fight, perhaps. Seen some pretty crazy turnarounds so far in the 2-2-2 meta, and that's going to be a good start as EQO manages to take down Fitz, getting closer and closer to that next Blizzard. While going to be using perfect back angle here for Carpe, just chewing away at Marvel. He goes down, Jaehong taken down as well. The Sound Barrier, rather, from Toby is not in time to keep them alive. That'll be the cleanup. That's going to be a very fast flip back in favor of the Philadelphia Fusion. You can see Fitz playing forward. He's going to have to Wraith Walk over onto the point just to force out that overtime.
not going to be enough to save the team, though.
No one else is there.
That will be the round. Toby just did not have sound barrier time. He was a few percentage points away from that critical ultimate, could not save his teammate. That first death opens things up for Fusion. Carpe had the high ground there, was able to set up some nice damage into that securing, or the round securing Death Blossom there. For Seoul Dynasty, I think that this is not something to get discouraged about, losing this first round, especially because of how it plays on the, on Control Tower. When you get that first point controlled, you have so much control over the choke and the ult economy as a result. We will not see, at least not to start here, Fleta on Pharah, but we will see Carpe. It looks like here he might just, teleport and then go to Reaper, but we've seen the Symmetra strategy a lot recently.
Yeah, we saw Corey run the Symmetra.
Just going to be the teleport.
Yeah. I was hoping maybe we would get to see it again, but...
I love it. I mean, it's a really fun strategy, but not this time.
Yeah. No one else has the confidence that Corey has. Trying to run that one. Already, though, Fleta going to be taken down. Poco coming up with a very nice pick here for the side of the Fusion now, just pushing forward, just straight up running. Just press W, hold left click, look for the kills. Will cost him a bit. Asado gets taken down. Fitz able to equalize a bit by getting rid of that front line. Barrier's still going to be up. Marvel placing another one as they go ahead, piling into the corner. You can see Carpe going in deep, trying to get in behind that barrier, but will get punished. J-Hawk comes up with one. Now Neptuno going to be gone as well. Punishment here for the Seoul Dynasty. It seems like they will be able to get the first cap this time around.
They certainly will. And now they just need to control this choke. They're going to do it from a distance here, so they can operate. The cool thing about setting up the barrier here is that you can both kind of fight at the choke, but also can kind of back away. They're actually going to fight on the point, though. They don't have the ultimates to control the choke that they would want. I mean, they have Coalescence, but they don't have the Blizzard. Flood actually doing very minimal damage in the last fight. Wasn't really required.
Yeah, I mean, picked off at the beginning as well. That did not help them. So allows for Marvel to have that supercharger online now ahead of Sato. Does have that ready to go. TP into the back here for Fitz, looking for the drop downs. They all get pulled together. Seeking a target now. Tries to soften up. Sato can't really get through that armor, however, but the Coalescence from J-Hong helps push the Fusion back, at least for now, holding them off.
Fitz has this Death Blossom for the next fight that they'll probably look to take at the choke point as Flood is nearing his own Blizzard. They don't have a Transcendence to block EQOs, so they're going to have to play carefully around this, but look at this teleport angle. He's committing.
Yep, ready to go. Pushes his way up top, waiting for the drop down. Joins on the ground. Sound barrier is going to be up from both sides. Wraith Wall going to be used by Fitz. Wall comes up. EQO trying to keep himself safe, but flooded with a Blizzard of his own. Manages to take him down before the Fusion can use their Blizzard.
Surprisingly, yeah, not committing the Blizzard there, even though EQO had a good opportunity to. The sound barrier was there, so he wanted to hold it and wait. But they might not get another chance like that where he's in position to use it. Does the Dynasty have Death Blossom, and Michelle can just zone him out, so he won't be able to get that central, centralized, very, efficient Blizzard where you hit multiple members. He's probably gonna have to toss it to the side unless he freezes Michelle, which is way easier said than done.
Probably gonna have to be some wall tech coming through, throw up the wall, then use the Blizzard, drop the wall afterward.
That's your only hope otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy space with the self-destruct from Poco, but then you're open to that Death Blossom damage without the D-Matrix. Coalescence gonna be coming through, however, Boombox cutting around the wall, manages to find J-Hawk as the first kill. Now Flood gonna be taken down. Looking very good now for the Fusion. Will be able to get this flip.
Really nice wall there by EQO, allows the Coalescence to come through. That was a call-out play, you can tell, because they also committed the Supercharger, which is going to give you a lot more pressure in a choke point like that with Coalescence. You get to save the Blizzard Death Blossom combo. Now you get to hold those for the choke, so really nice shot calling here on the side of Fusion to set up that wall and look for the Coalescence choke point there where everyone is going to be stuck in the damage. Great angle. Looked like it might have been that wall freeze you were talking about, but they committed the Coalescence instead.
Yeah, just great by Boombox to edge around that one. Stucking around Flutter's wall to get that kill.
J-Hawk doing
going
the same.
low. Trying to stay alive. Everybody gonna get dragged together. The Coalescence is coming through, but Fitz is going down. Carpe finds that one. Blizzard's gonna be committed to the fight. They will be able to get a couple kills here. They hold on to that self-destruct as well as the Death Blossom for the next push.
Yeah. The Blizzard being used here is the big one for the Seoul Dynasty that they're going to be really banking on as having that advantage in the fight. Jaehong swaps over to Ana. They're going to look for a bio grenade in this fight. So he knows he's not going to be able to build Coalescence for this. There's just no reason to hope for that at this point. You just want the bio nade when the Blizzard comes down. Really help you secure those first kills, and makes it so much harder for the Reaper to live during that fight.
Not only that, but also the Moira, when she's in the Coalescence, can't get that self-healing. Sound Barrier going to be used by Toby. Answered now by Neptuno. EQO taking a nap for the moment, but will get woken up. The Supercharger will be lost as Boombox uses the Coalescence. Go ahead and burn that one down. Fitz is into the back line, looking for a pick. Can't deny Poco the remake, but Sato going to be taken down as the Death Blossoms come out from both sides. It's Fitz who is left standing at the end of it all. Poco will be eliminated. The flip getting ready to come back through. Seoul Dynasty already at 99%. Can they delay long enough? Boombox is gone. Somebody's got to get to the point. The closest one's going to be Sato trying to roll his way back through with that Wrecking Ball, but it's not in time. One more round of Lijiang Tower to decide it all as we get ready to move over to Gardens.
I really like the Jaehong swap over to the Ana there on that final push as well. The threat of the Bionade really helped move the Philadelphia Fusion into position that favored the Dynasty, because if you're absorbing as well the Bio Grenade, then you're putting yourself at risk of getting hit by the Blizzard because you're not going to have that cooldown. And he also, when he did finally commit to it after the fight was, half won, you could say, he hit specifically Carpe. It was the hero that you're worried about most in that moment is the Reaper who could Wraith Walk, then get healed and heal himself. Very tanky. We've been jokingly calling this quad tank, you and I, because of the tankiness that is the front line. EQO will pull out the Pharah here, but we will not see it from Fleta. It's going to be a matchup that's favorable for the Fusion because Seoul hasn't scouted it yet. We'll see how they respond once they see this. EQO, one of the better Pharahs in the league quietly. Everyone remembers last year, but this year he hasn't been able to play it as much.
For the moments that he has brought it out, it's usually been to great result. Push around the side, very aggressive flank angle from Carpe, and manages to find that shot there onto Jaehong. Can't quite take him down though. Dynasty now starting to make their way over onto the point. EQO trying to gatekeep them out of that. Tries to push through the window, but yeah, Michelle instantly shoving him back. Marvel nearly taken out. First healing is coming through Jaehong. Nearly with that Coalescence online already, just surging forward. EQO has the barrage ready to go. So much damage being offered up by this far. Can't quite get those kills though. Now the Coalescence is going to be coming in. Nice. Roger from the side. The D-Matrix is there, however. Michelle denying away all of this damage. EQO just not even quite far enough into the window. They're trying to get that damage in seriously.
The Matrix will
still
so
get taken down, but now Toby going to be eliminated. So still going to be the Philadelphia Fusion managing to turn things around completely on its head. Only 24% gain for the Dynasty. The flip's coming through already.
Yeah, that was really good play from Michelle, who's also continuing to play well here as he almost takes EQO down on his escape. But gotta say, credit goes to Carpe on that final fight there. When you're not killing anyone, the Coalescence comes in early, and he's able to get that damage done through the Coalescence from Jaehong. Now he swapped back over to the Ana, which is gonna give him a little bit more counter ability to the Pharah that you see EQO running, and Fitz is also swapping. So there's a bit of dual potential here. This is what we talked about leading into the stats today. Carpe better at clutch potential. Fitz, who's now taken out, much better at damage output overall, which is not really what you want against a Pharah comp. You need the snipes, you need those headshot kills, you need those opening picks. And he's actually just going to swap off of it onto the Reaper. He's getting outmatched.
Just abandoning all hope. Trying to come out on top of that Widow duel. And EQO has already built up. I think it was 56% at the end of the fight. After using that Blizzard, nearly takes down Fitz right there. There's a great angle here into the back. The barrage now going to be online, but might not need to use it. Marvel's already going to be eliminated. Sound barrier shields are out for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Losing out on that Orisa is absolutely crucial. Philadelphia Fusion is looking to hold on here, maintain control of this point. Michelle trying to mitigate as much as he can with that D-Matrix, but now, stuck for the moment, is woken back up. Fleta makes his way into that ice block, manages to stay alive and in the fight for a little bit longer as EQO hits the ground, and now Fleta going to be taken down. EQO will kill himself off. Been too close of a blast as Boombox will be eliminated. Now Neptuno gone. No supports, no front line. Seoul Dynasty will be able to flip this one this time before 99%. Much to their benefit, but still 81 on the board for the Fusion.
Michelle is playing the D.Va so well. He's really limiting what EQO can do in a lot of these fights. Well, also dealing with Poco, who's the biggest threat for the support line in this composition. When EQO is kind of eliminated or pushed away, that's what you're worried about most. And he's really just taking care of everyone. The Dynasty have a Blizzard. EQO swaps to match on the Mei, but he's not going to have a lot of time to build this up. Fire Grenade going to be inconsequential, but this next push here is where Fleta can use this choke point to spell disaster for the Fusion. With no support on Zeus, it's almost unwinnable.
Wall on the left, barrier on the right, self-destructed to the back, and J-Hunk, good night. Gets taken down. Poco managing to find one. Now going to be frozen up in the mech, and Sato taken out. No D-Matrix ensures that they can push forward, get rid of that Orisa. Now Poco's going to be out of here. Neptuno going to be eliminated as well. EQ over the sliver HP, makes it back into that ice block to try and stay in the fight. Fit's going to be using that Death Blossom. They sustain him, and he comes up with 2.
It's incredible how much of an impact taking out the Diva makes. I mean, it was a lost fight previously before that with the opening kill we saw there for the Fusion. But Fitz sets this fight up when he knows Poco is dead, he's helped eliminate early. He's able to return and blossom his way to a team fight win.
Just getting rid of that orb, looking for the sleep dart. Doesn't find the hit, would have been a very nice slow up. Here for J-Hunk, who nearly has that nano boost online. Wall coming up again. Supercharger going to be thrown down. That's going to be the sound barrier out from Toby. Now to match, push forward. Bionade catches 2. Poco and Sato. Both going to get hit by that one. But it's going to be Marvel taking down now Fleta. Falling as well. J-Hunk just can't quite get the connections that he wants with these sleep darts, and that's going to be Fusion getting the flip here at 81%. One more fight chance for the Seoul Dynasty.
Really important that Michelle escaped there, did not find himself frozen, or that would have been the map right there. You can't contest this without his bomb and without his ability to eat Ikuo's next Blizzard. He does survive. They have one final push. He's also probably going to have to be the one who tags. We do see Marvel
wall
on
is
the
up.
side. Yeah, wall's up already. It's already been used. Marvel's on the edge.
Could try to block him out. He's waiting, biding his time. They manage to push forward. That's going to be the OT force down. Michelle going to get knocked out of the mech. Has himself to start to try to make his way back in. And a boost used over onto Fitz. Blizzard comes down just moments before Michelle can get back into that mech. Get the halt forward here onto Marvel. He's frozen. The wall off comes through. Fleta going to be taken down. Michelle into the back trying to save his teammates, but there's nothing that he can do. J-Hunk so far the only one on the side of the Dynasty who managed to find a kill. Got rid of Neptuno, but then instantly gets taken down. That's the team wipe. That's OT bleeding away, and that's Philly Fusion picking up map 1.
Brilliant plays from Ikuo there at the end. The wall placement was phenomenal to keep Marvel out, forcing Michelle to be the one to tag. Michelle gets demec'd instantly, and he just makes the plays. He freezes Marvel with the Blizzard, guarantee no delays. Got a good start here for the Philadelphia Fusion.
Very nicely done, but a lot of back and forth here, and all 3 rounds of control means we should have a very close series on our hands. Let's see if the Dynasty tie us up when we come back for the next map.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. In a battle of top Overwatch League teams, the Vancouver Titans were trying to steal the third map of the series, Hollywood, against the London Spitfire. Haxel charged up Genji's ult, but just as he used it, the Spitfire's resident Roadhog, Fury, hooked him into Prophet's waiting Blizzard, ensuring they would retain control of the point.
And welcome back. Philly Fusion able to take that first map here versus the Seoul Dynasty. We're now going to be looking to answer back and tie us up 1-1 as we get ready to move into Volskaya.
Yeah, this is a map where you look at the Widow players on these teams, Carpe and Fitz, and they have a very different play style. We'll probably see at least Carpe on the defense, you imagine, on Widow. Fitz has a more varied play style, isn't as reliant on it, so he might not, but this map in this meta has often been decided by whoever has the better Widows on A. Sometimes you see full holds because of it. Sometimes you see, the time bank significantly reduced so much that that's what really defines the map. And as mentioned, on the defense here for Seoul, they actually have Fitz on the Hanzo, so he's not going to be running the Widow that he could have run. But against Carpe, who's another one of those carry-type Widows, and when I say carry-type Widow, I mean the Widow who's looking to headshot only, doesn't look for body shots, doesn't look for consistent damage, but looks for kills only. Like Soon is another player like this. Tori, I would also classify like this. Not so much DM. But anyway, Carpe is known to attack Widow, and he will sometimes get that rogue headshot on you. You don't want to base your defense on that matchup alone. So Fitz is going to do something a little bit safer and play Hanzo, sit back a little bit further, and not try to challenge Carpe, who loves to go for these pop-up shots.
Barely missed out on that frame there. Jaehong's head. It's one shot in. Now looking for the pop-up over the top. Nearly lines it up. Can't quite take down Fleta, but we'll get a decent bit of damage here onto the members of the Seoul Dynasty as they retreat back over to the point, already conceding this choke point.
Fitz showing so much respect with his positioning right now. He's so far back. Carpe is just not able to look for the shot he wants.
Either respect or it's fear. Either way, Jaehong barely manages to elude that follow-up shot. Keeps himself alive, but he's disconnected from the rest of the team. Not really offering up too much healing right now. Fitz, however, manages to find a kill. Storm Arrow is out, take down Boombox. EQO in the back, already using that ice block. Trying to survive with a sliver of HP. Dink comes through, manages to find one hit there on Michelle. Marvel going to be taken down. Fusion maybe still going to be able to make things happen despite losing Boombox so very early on in the fight. Poco going to be dragged through, but the wall comes in from EQO to keep him safe. Harbank just constantly going to be rotating around that backside of the point as Jaehong gets frozen and eliminated. Michelle, however, still going to be in the fight, as is Fleta, who's playing forward, keeping that point contested for the moment.
Nice play there by Fitz and Fleta together to guarantee that kill.
They got a tick, though.
Survive. They did get a tick. A lot of that tick came from Carpe. Now, we watched this first-person view, and a lot of people are probably putting the lulls in chat. Didn't get any big headshots, didn't get any opening kills. But you said, is it fear or is it respect? I think it's both in professional Overwatch against a great player like that. The fact that he was there forced the Seoul Dynasty to put themselves into an unfavorable position. And that allowed the rest of the front line to come through and grab that tick. We'll see if it happens again here.
Walls are up, good fortify there from Sato.
That's how you do it.
Keeps himself protected. Carpe, again, looking for that grapple jump shot. Can't find it. Will rotate around onto the low ground. Sees Jaehong, but Jaehong is playing it safe. Hiding out from behind. Ant Matrix going to be used. Wall blocks off a lot of that damage, but now Carpe going to be taken down. Toby, of all people, comes up with the kill onto the enemy Widow.
Taking those risky shots, gets punished. You know, that's his play style. It doesn't always work out. It's a double-edged sword. You know, a lot of Widows would fire at the tanks in a lot of these situations, help break the Roadhog down to win the fight. That's not Carpe's style. You saw in his first-person view in the last push, he was focused mostly on Fitz, which, you know, removed Fitz from the fight, so it was still a good thing to do, but sometimes when you do get caught with your pants down on the Widow, when you do just make yourself known and exposed like that.
Pushing around the side, wall comes up. Dragon Strike is still online here for Fitz. To know that there's going to be an Immortality field in response, we'll just go ahead and still use the Dragon Strike all the same. It's a bit of damage in onto Sato, who's playing very far forward up into that Dragon Strike. Immortality now comes down, as well as the Coalescence, trying to keep everybody alive. They pulled out with a halt, as Fitz finds two. And that is just going to be the cleanup. Seoul Dynasty looking quite strong here on this defense on Volskaya. 50 seconds remaining for the side of the Philly Fusion, and Carpe likely to be staggered here at the end.
Brilliant Blizzard there from Fleta as well. They forced the Transcendence early, and then he's able to toss it in with no fear of the counter to come through the heals. Right now, it's looking really rough for Fusion. Carpe is going to swap off the Widow. You know, attack Widow can be difficult to execute on this map. It might be too little, too late. You can't build a Dragon Strike. He's going to have to hope for a rogue headshot. I mean, more than anything else, they have no Blizzard. Toby's about to have Amp Matrix.
Get a decent angle on the Fitz or Marvel, might be able to build up a Dragon Strike in an extended fight in overtime, but likelihood of that going slimmer and slimmer. Asada is going to take it down. The supercharge isn't lasting. The pull in onto Poco. Immortality keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Dueling a whole hugs come through, but there's an Amp Matrix there from Michelle. It just absolutely chew apart the remaining members of the Philadelphia Fusion. The pull in onto Neptuno takes him down. And that's going to be the full hold coming through. Just over 1 tick surrendered, and that is it for the Fusion.
Marvel with a really nice halt there around the edge to set that up. Michelle having the trust, knowing the halt was going to connect. His hook came out before the halt even finished. That synergy between your Orisa Roadhog. Michelle's having a great series right now, despite the 0-1 start. But they're in position now to tie this up.
Oh, absolutely. Need a massive hold for the side of the Fusion if they want to move up 2-0. Otherwise, 36.5% is what the Dynasty need to exceed.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And we are back. A fantastic defense there from the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Only giving up 36.5% to the side of Philadelphia Fusion, and are looking poised to tie us up 1-1 in this series before halftime.
Yeah, it is up to Carpe now again on the Widow. They got the 1 tick from his first push. So if they can full hold here, it's still winnable. Carpe will bank his hopes and his 2-0 life here on the Widow again.
They're going to say in his dreams.
Yeah, well, I mean, Carpe's got a lot of dreams, no doubt. Making it to that grand final the second time, probably the top of the list. So put him 1 step closer.
Especially when it is in the home city, as it would be at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah. Notice Carpe's positioning, by the way, not to change topics on you, but he's top left on that little platform. Well, now he's moved. He's over there to the right side. He's going to constantly, through every push, swap sides so that he's not really under threat, and also so that Seoul doesn't know which angle to expect him at. And the placement of Marvel's barrier, well,
there you go.
It's not in the right spot because they didn't know he's coming that way. But that's going to affect it as well. See, now that he's got the kill, he's considering a swap to the other side. He's going to stay there.
Great angle here for Carpe.
The reason why you see those players shuffle around is because there could be a Widow swap on the Seoul Dynasty side they haven't seen yet, and they don't want to get headshot. They don't want to get hit by the icicles either once the barrier breaks.
Yeah, just need to have that constant motion. Fleta especially, as you said, getting those right clicks in. Not that damage fall off. Can't shoot that through that window, Michelle, but it's all right. He's just, he's pretending. He's like, I wish I could get to you right now. Carpe has the infra sight up for the wraparound on the flank. Nearly has the shot there off the Jayhong, but now they're aware of his position. Just play around that back. Carpe not ready for that hold to come through, but now Sato going to be taken down. Jayhong manages to find a very crucial pickup. Fleta gets rid of the immortality field as Fitz plays around the back, looking to eliminate EQO. Already though, front line has been broken down. No tanks left. Sato with a very long run back. Somebody's got to tag the point. They finally manage to do so as EQO goes into the ice block, but he is all on his lonesome. They hook Boombox off the point just to try to get across that finish line, at least get the tick through. Are able to do it, and that will be it. Seoul Dynasty making it easy, making it quick on Volskaya. Tie us up 1-1.
This one's on Carpe. Gotta say it. He flanked there, and they just walked in front of the bunker. He couldn't get any shots. He didn't have line of sight. And his gambit to try to go behind and get a kill when they only had one tick to take, essentially, to win the map, did not pay off. It cost them the map, in fact. So sometimes you take risks. There are not always rewards.
Well, not close on Volskaya, but still close in the standings. 1-1 here as we go into halftime. We'll see who can take a lead when we come back for Hybrid.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Setting up on the objective. Hi-oh, coming up.
Pass into the iris.
不许走。
I need healing.
I am on fire.
I agree.
Team up for space resistance.
Sun hide from my sight.
And we are back live from the Blizzard Arena. Here's a look at some whole hogging. Well done, Michelle and the Dynasty looking to lock this one up over the Fusion, but so far it's a tight race. Hello everybody, welcome back into the Blizzard Arena. It's Puckin alongside Sideshow and Mr. Doa, Dr. Doa, if you were watching earlier
It's
in the
Dr.
show.
Doa. I didn't go to all that fake medical school for nothing.
Glad to have you with us. Brent, of course, is getting a little bit of rest. Doa has done an excellent job, though, of breaking down the games. And Doa, coming into the games today, we wanted to take a look at some of the Mei play here. Why did you guys want to focus on the Mei when you got Fitz and Carpe running Reapers out there?
Well, it's the most important hero at the moment, I think, in terms of
for sure.
defining how these team fights work. And it's been really interesting to watch Fleta play it, because he was such a carry for the Seoul Dynasty when they last played. He played Pharah. When they played against the Shanghai Dragons, they won 80% of their fights with him on Pharah. Now, him on the Mei here, in this first round, absolutely outplayed by EQO. He was not getting as many walls in the right position at any point, and EQO ran away with it.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think at the end of the day, it really was kind of an individual outplay when you look at team to team on Lijiang Tower, because a lot of these rounds, like Seoul Dynasty's ult economy, the ult usage wasn't that bad like other players on the team. Fitz looked okay. Michelle looked really good, I thought, on a personal level on Gardens, but Yeah, Fleta just kind of getting outplayed in the 1v1.
And if you look specifically at that May battle, here's how the numbers broke down. Now, it's less time, I believe, for EQO, but he's got bigger numbers across the board. Walk us through some of the big ones here.
Well, I mean, the deaths is the obvious one, right? EQO only dying 3 times as May on Lijiang Tower.
Oh, wow,
Compared to 12 from Fleta. That says to me that he's overextending, which we saw in the match, and using his ice block too early on as well without his team bailing him out. The rest of it, you know, Blizzard kills, enemies frozen, fair enough. These are the kind of things that maybe sometimes the stats are a little bit misleading on, but it's so obvious here that EQO utterly, truly was outplaying Fleta, and he looks so uncomfortable on that role, Fleta, that is.
Is this something we expect out of EQO going into the playoffs? Is he going to win every May matchup?
I don't know
He's a
about
good
every
May.
May matchup, but he is a very good May. He's very intelligent.
I want to see him play Nero. Just saying. Philly Guangzhou could be a great battle.
That could happen in the play-in.
I know.
Definitely
I'm
possible.
hoping we might see that one. Of course, both these teams a lot on the line today. Philly fighting for their play-in seed, and then, of course, Seoul Dynasty trying to lock in top 6. And if Seoul keeps playing the way they did on Hanamura, I think there's a chance we see that happening. Let's walk everybody through one of the fastest maps we're going to see today.
It was so fast that you thought it was Hanamura. It was Volskaya.
Volskaya. That's what I said. I said Volskaya. Duh.
That's a good point.
I will say, though, Fitz was the story of this map, and Carpe, and how those two actually ended up playing against each other. Because, sure, the May EQO was still great on that, but Fitz dominated this matchup, and Carpe just hasn't been playing like we want him to play. I mean, this guy was such a phenomenal force in 2018, and he got nothing done on Volskaya.
You know, more great Michelle play too, but I totally agree about Carpe. Like, I kept seeing him go for these shots, and I'm like, 2018 Carpe would have hit that shot.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. He just
I kept thinking that.
Just gets destroyed by Fleta on the May as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The whole of Philadelphia Fusion on Volskaya, they make rotations to put Carpe in positions to hit shots. But if Carpe doesn't hit the shots, it's all for naught.
Carpe, got to hit the shots. Well, Josh, we were watching the ultimates. Seoul doing a really good job of managing their ultimates, but you mentioned that it's not always about using your ult. Sometimes you can just straight up counter them.
Yes, it's really cool actually to see the way that a lot of ults are being used in this May Reaper kind of ecosystem that we're in now. So my State Farm ult economy is going to break down a couple of the most interesting ultimates that are in the game right now, the ones that win you the neutral fights. So let's take a look at these comps. When you're running the Batiste alongside the Orisa, these are the compositions, the ultimates that are going to win you the neutral game with your... what is the bongo drum ultimate even called?
Supercharger.
Super
The
bongo drum.
Come on, man.
I'm ignoring Dora, it's the bongo drums. Along with
Supercharger.
the amp matrix. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's roll this clip out and you'll see that as they push forward here, they put the amp matrix in place. This clears out all of this area, but the ice wall comes in and that's gonna block it off. Now this play ends up not working out because Carpe gets hooked and they lose that first pick. But this is just an overextension. It's a distraction, a red herring from the play that I want to break down. So if we continue, you can see this from the free cam a little more clearly, where here the whole of Seoul Dynasty are going to sweep around the corner and put the amp matrix down. It doubles your damage. It's huge for winning neutral fights. But this May wall from EQO, perfect, because he places it behind the amp matrix. So it's not like they can shoot through to the May wall and get the double damage. It just totally neuters that ultimate, makes it utterly useless. Really smart play by EQO.
So smart from EQO. Definitely one of the bigger brains that we've seen on the stage in Blizzard Arena. Guys, we've got 2 more games to go. Big matchup for both sides. Originally, everybody said Seoul. Do you want to change your picks?
No. Sorry.
No.
Alex is saying yes.
No,
It's all
can't
Philly,
do it.
baby.
I see you over there. No.
I'm still feeling the Seoul Dynasty. I think unless Carpe starts really stepping up and hitting his shots, and then EQ and Carpe are going to be a deadly duo, but until he does, I got to go with Seoul.
I agree, because we talked about teams playing each other in the 1v1s, and I think if Philly puts their entire strategy around Carpe and he can't deliver on that personal level, then Seoul absolutely has a win.
I think 2018 Carpe is coming back out. It's happening in the second half.
See.
We'll find out. Am I right? Game 3 up next.
大家好，我是杭州 Spark 主坦郭雪，来自四川。那时候我舅舅会在就有一次带我去了网吧玩，然后让我看他玩游戏，然后也教我玩。当时他玩的是 CS， 然后后面就有点喜欢上这种东西了嘛。我对 Spark 本期的期待，我希望我们能进入决赛吧，最后能拿到冠军。
And welcome back. We are halfway through our series, but still tied up 1-1. Seoul Dynasty able to put a win on the board after a full hold on Volskaya, and they just made it look easy. Philadelphia Fusion gonna have to try to bounce back after that and take a lead here in the series.
Carpe with lots of greed on the Widow, tries for the flank there, on defense, on attack. He does two major roundabout flanks. Neither are successful enough to get the point unlocked. As we head into our third map, is going to be Blizzard World, and this is a map where you can see a lot of Widowmaker, especially on the opening defense, so he has a chance to redeem himself here. And Carpe is a great Widowmaker player, make no mistake. I mean, he is one of the big greats, one of the most famous Widowmaker players in the world, and he comes from, you know, a background of being on mediocre teams in Apex before coming over here.
Yep.
And that was a long time ago, but he really made a name for himself in 2018. And now, you know, in this 2-2-2 meta where you can play it again, he's often opting into it, but coming up empty, and that's not because of his aim, it's because of his play style. And at least for this defense here, he's actually going to opt into the safer Hanzo pick. We didn't see him run on Volskaya.
Well, same match record for both of these teams on this map, 3-2. So I'm feeling the draw. I think no one takes the lead in the map score. Fitz just gonna be throwing down at that Symmetra, swapping over to the Hanzo to join in. Toby didn't feel like teleporting.
No,
he's not. He's the guy who goes up the stairs instead of taking the escalator.
Yeah, he's like, I need my exercise. I'm using my exo boots too.
Yep.
I didn't buy these for nothing.
All right. Well, Jaehong gonna be the first one to fall. Immortality Field now coming in. Will be able to save Michelle, but cannot save Fleta. Good initial 2 picks here for the Fusion. They're playing a very aggressive, far forward defense so far.
Yeah, Carpe with a headshot onto Jaehong means he dies first. Loses a lot of ability to build Transcendence, in fact, sitting at sub 10%, the only person in the server to be below 10 in terms of ult charge because he was picked so early without really being able to do damage. And they are playing aggressively forward. Don't do this in your ranked games, by the way, but so far it's working well because they're operating around this barrier and they're also covering this side angle here. Carpe's gonna have to retreat though. This is the opening they were looking for.
Well, he dodges away from that halt to keep himself safe. Dragon Strike about to be online. So certainly could shut down this push. Gets the spot on the Fitz with the Sonic Arrow. Jumps over the top. He's looking for that hit. Fitz trying to be as elusive as possible and actually answers back a little bit of damage here onto Carpe. That does allow for the rest of the Dynasty to push up to this right side. Mortality Field has already been used. Dragon Strike getting ready to come online. Fitz actually gets his just in time, moments before the Fusion do. Dragon Strikes out from both teams. No one going to be taken down from them, but now we have the Amp Matrices in from both sides as well. Marvel playing right here on that bottom corner. Nothing to be found from the Amp Matrices. Both going to be expiring. Fleta denying away the hook with that wall. We get a lot of damage onto Poco. Nearly take him out. Another Immortality Field going to be used. Burn that one down. Second tick getting ready to be snatched here by the Seoul Dynasty, but now Toby's going to fall down for a little bit more here. The Dynasty to try to get across that line, try to cap A. Ohog going to be coming through, but Poco loses it instantly. Dead on arrival with that ultimate. Let's get taken down. The Bionade onto 2 means nothing for the side of the Philly Fusion. They cannot capitalize on top of that one, and Fitz is straight in behind Sada to finish him off.
Fitz, man, with the top right angle repeatedly on that attack, getting the damaged on Sato, kind of picking away at him several times, forcing him to reposition. He also forced the Immortality Field to be used early from Neptuno when the first Dragon Strike he fired came out. Well, he hasn't got the second one yet, but anyway, the first Dragon Strike regardless. And you know, these angles he's got, these long-range shots, I mean, look at the chip damage coming through. He's got another Dragon Strike now. EQO's caught. He's just on top of this siege tank, man. I mean, he's about as high as you can get on the map.
Yep, I mean, he is just poking him down. Michelle hooking him in, getting the killing blows. Finish off Boombox now. Cart slowly being brought forward by Jaehong. Despite being the team captain, still left with the duty of bringing up the cart all by himself.
I like to think he's driving it himself.
Looking for another pull, unable to find that one. We'll have to take a breather and peel back as that Immortality Field gets cleaned up. Supercharger as well going to expire for the side of the Seoul Dynasty, but everybody else just rejoining with their captain down here on that low ground.
Yeah, EQO has this Blizzard ready. We see a lot of Maze hide in this room here that he's looking directly at right now. And then flank that way, but you can only do that for point contest.
Dragon Strike coming through. That's going to be the halt in, looking for the kills, but everyone's able to part fairly quickly. Another May wall comes in from Fleta now. It's going to be Blizzard for Blizzard out from both sides. Right here onto the cart. Good for that freeze up. Immortality Field going to be used now, taken down. No one eliminated yet, but Michelle falling lower and lower, and he's stuck in that whole hog, so can't take a breather and doesn't get the chance to. Was trying to hide behind the cart, but will get taken down in the end. EQO able to find that, but it's going to be the front line suffering on either side. And EQO gone as well, and Carpe eliminated in the back line, trying to go on another flank mission, but it does not work out. Mortality Field's still going to be there, helping Toby stay alive as Poco plays up onto the cart. Now he's got that Discord Orb out from Jaehong. He looks to finish him off, but oh man, the hook caught short by the cart in there. And it's just a halt it. And now that'll be the cleanup here. They try to push this cart forward. So a couple more meters, they will be able to get on the back of the Dragon Strike. 3.5 minutes about in the time bank for the Seoul Dynasty for the final stretch of Blizzard World.
They got the Transcendence at least and the Dragon Strike, so some small bonuses there for Philadelphia Fusion, you know, consolation prize if you will. But this is still an incredible position for Seoul Dynasty, and Fitz is at the front lines again with high ground, and that's exactly where you want to be. I mean, look at these leading shots. He hits both of them blind because he knows that's the exact place they're going to walk out. Nearly gets the headshot there to kill the opposing Hanzo. And Toby's set up here now as well with a kind of a free angle around this corner to Amp Matrix. There's so much going for Seoul Dynasty right now. There's also a Supercharger. I mean, Philadelphia Fusion needs this Dragon Strike to be big. They need it to really push them off the cart and mess up their positioning. Otherwise, this could just be an insane time bank.
Yeah, it could be a lot of damage output here if they can use both ultimates in conjunction with each other, but we'll see that Immortality Field get taken down.
And Seoul know that that's a long cooldown. They're going to respect Carpe's Dragon Strike here and not push in until it's ready. Or they're going to use the Amp Matrix instead.
Yep, looking to pull somebody back in with a halt, get them in line of sight. They're unable to do so, and the wall was used by EQO as well to deny away further sight lines from the side of the Seoul Dynasty, but a lot of space now going to be given. And the Dragon Strike comes through straight in onto the card. Everybody just going to be splitting away. The Supercharger is still going to be slammed down here by Marvel. It'll be finished off now, and Immortality Field is used. Gonna break down the barriers, another one gonna be set up here, but now Toby gonna get picked. Carpe will find one, a crucial pickoff for the side of the Fusion as they try to hold this cart back. Blizzard comes in, however, from Flood. They get the pull in. Whole Hongo into the back from Poco. Takes out Michelle. Jaehong is able to equalize. Dragon Strike tossed forward, looking to push them away from the cart. Transcendence is there, now going to be matched by Jaehong as they move forward, but Flood has already been lost. And Michelle is still on the run back, as is Toby. Will just be the cleanup here for the side of the Fusion. Maybe a bit of an overcommitment with that ult from Jaehong.
I wonder if we'll see, I wonder if we'll see a swap over to the Ana with that commitment, because that was a bit odd. It was not really a fight they could turn, and that's a really critical ultimate. Eco didn't even drop Blizzard, so a lot of question marks on that one for sure, but Jaehong's gonna stick with it. Gives you that extra burst potential versus, you know, the hooked targets, also the Transcendence when you have it, when you don't waste it, versus EQO's Blizzard. Time is running thin here, though. I don't know if he'll build another one on this. This is really going to be Seoul looking for a lucky hook, lucky pick.
Yeah, minute remaining. Walls up to go ahead and deny away that halt hook possibility. Immortality Field has been used by Toby. They've got a Supercharger, they've got a window, they've got a Dragon Strike on the side of the Philadelphia Fusion, and now they have a pick off on a Fleta. Fitz answers back and exchanges the maze now as the Immortality Field gets taken down as well. Whole Hog is out from Michelle, looking to push them back. Dragon Strike rolling through from Carpe. Doesn't find any kills. Weakens the front line of the Seoul Dynasty, but Toby still just spamming out those right clicks, looking to top everybody up.
Fits with the flank. This could be massive.
Wrapping around the back. They
have
profit
no idea.
from this.
They have no idea.
It doesn't fall apart. Blizzard is used into the front. They now know. Fitz was playing around the back. He's got to go ahead and peel away. But in the meantime, Boombox comes up with 2 kills. Michelle and Jail both going to be taken down. There's 10 seconds remaining. Marvel left out the drive by himself. Will be eliminated. Fitz going to be gone. I'm not sure if anyone can tag in onto the card. The nearest person's going to be Fleta. Now he enters into the ice block. The Wrecking Ball cannot tag. They get darn close, but they cannot finish Blizzard World.
Really great conservative play by EQO there as well. He did end up getting picked by Fitz once there when he was peeking, but otherwise didn't really show himself too much. Had the Blizzard held until the last moment, the critical moment where they knew they would be able to get that hold, win Seoul committed. And that passive play gets them a nice setup here, potential to come back in the series and take a lead.
Yep, it was a really nice start for the Seoul Dynasty, but slowed up there at the end. A win condition on the board for the Fusion. Can they capitalize on it? Let's find out.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Into the iris. Into the iris.
And welcome back. It's time for the Dynasty to go on defense. Could not finish Blizzard World. Got dangerously close, but the Fusion were able to persevere in the end, stop them. Now we have to see how they fare on their own attack.
And once again, we are seeing this Batiste Zenyatta composition. Because Hanzo is so prevalent, you really need Immortality Field, or else you're going to get caught a lot in these choke points. And you can't really throw the Zen out, or you're going to have problems against Blizzard. It's one of your saving graces, the Transcends. We didn't start that way in this meta, but by the end of things, you know, it became more like goats, as you'd expect. It's going to be a mirror. We're not going to see Carpe try to attempt the attack. Widow is just sticking with the Hanzo for more consistent damage output.
Just trying to get a sightline there onto Fitz. Manages to spot him briefly with that Sonic Arrow. Knows that he can now safely push up here onto the high ground. Fitz in the back. Just exchange a couple shots here and there, but so far no one really making a solid connection. Around the side, that's going to be the pull in on the Marvel. Didn't have the Fortify until after he had already been yoinked forward.
It was yanked and yoinked.
I mean, that is just, that's it. That's point A, basically, yeah, unless they can pull off a miracle.
You can't really lose your Orisa, then hope to turn the fight. They're going to buy time here.
Well, Fitz is trying to turn this one himself. He finds 3. Maybe the Madman can do it. The freeze comes in. Poco gets locked up. Shield comes in. Keeps them protected. They still have that front line playing forward. Jaehong going to be taken down. One tick going to be snatched. They get up to 61.5%, but now Sato going to be taken down. And on the back of Fitz with a triple kill, they'll actually hold him off.
Yeah, Fitz turned me into a liar. It's incredible that in Overwatch you can have this moment where you get a 3K like this and then mess up your wall climb right afterwards. But here we're going to watch him on the flank. The flanking Hanzo is the most dangerous. If you don't know where he is, then you can't position yourself behind a barrier to block his damage. They got too bloodthirsty there. They thought, okay, this is over, as we did, and they just ignored all positioning. They thought Fitz is probably just resetting with his team. He's probably out of here. But no, he's hiding and he sets out the defense.
They were just basically jumping on top of Fitz without realizing that he was there. Another pull goes forward, trying to keep Marvel and Michelle alive, but Michelle's still going to fall. Immortality Field now going to be taken down, and out of the ice block goes Fleta.
See if Fitz can do it again.
Yep, he's here on the high ground.
Dodges the hole.
I'm not going to doubt this guy anymore, but now the whole hog is out here onto the point. Marvel stuck against the wall. Damage focus finally comes through. They've managed to finish him off. Carpe up over on the high ground this time. Gets that headshot here on the J-Hong. And that will be point A going over to the Fusion. Decent time by coming through, but still going to be 4 minutes and 10 seconds in the time bank for the Fusion for the next phase of Blizzard World.
Solid start, great time bank here, despite Fitz making miracles happen. Ooh, nice fortify. I feel like the Reeses are getting way better at that these days. We've seen a lot of misses otherwise. I mean, he should have done it earlier, to be fair, but yeah, at least he was able to press it in time to dodge the hook. Can't say the same about a lot of other Reeses in this league.
Oh, well, that's going to be Michelle getting pulled in. Immortality Field, however, at the wall. Keep him safe for the moment. Transcendent's going to be used. J-Hong pushing forward, but there's so much damage. Michelle absolutely gets melted, and Toby is gone to that Dragon Strike. J-Hong, however, he goes back in. Now he fights two. Carpe finally shuts him down. Nearly gets taken out himself. Marvel going to get finished off, and Carpe is on the flank looking to take down Fitz. Poco, however, with a triple kill of his own, is going to be able to come up the kills. It's just so many members coming up with multi-kills at a time. Everyone is just taking turns.
Yeah, I mean, this is turning into a bit of a brawl, and unfortunately for Dynasty, that's not really their playstyle. It's not really their strength. I feel like Fusion has played this playstyle out. I mean, they are extremely mechanically gifted. And I think Seoul works better as a unit, so when they have these crazy trades, usually Fusion ends up coming up ahead.
Wall is up, somebody's got to attack the card. 0.65 meters left to go. Both Arisa's gonna fall. Now it's gonna be on the Roadhogs, especially Michelle on the side of the Dynasty to play forward. Gets that wall to alleviate a little bit of pressure, and as Carpe tries to escape, Fitz cuts him down with the Storm Arrows. So, slight reprieve for the side of the Seoul Dynasty, as they do have control of the card for now.
Yeah, Fitz just gonna operate on the high ground here again. And he thread the needle on this pylon, looks like almost.
Trying to make his way through. EQO, however, he can thread the needle, gets those icicles in.
Yeah, but he's out there. He's got to be careful. He does get away. There's no chase potential there for Flood. He almost got himself slowed and frozen there. All this time by, though, with Fitz's positioning and repositioning and Storm Arrows poking, has bought Seoul a substantial amount of time. Finally, they break out here.
Gonna fight around the staircase here as the Dragon Strike comes through. Dynasty just gonna be peeling back. Staying safe for now, looking for that pull, but Marvel is getting better. He's got that fortify ready to go. Hook's not gonna connect for either side. Clark starting to inch forward again. QO playing the flank. Wraps back around to the front as the whole hog comes in from Poco, just trying to get through the main wall, trying to get through the barrier. Michelle is still holding on to that whole hog of his own. Dragon Strike now coming in from the side, but Michelle going to be taken down. EQO finds a crucial pick and gets the Blizzard online. And Matrix going to be up. So they look to just go ahead and eliminate that May wall into the ice block. Goes Fleta, keeps himself alive. Fitz finds Carpe, the Blizzard comes in. Transcendent's now out from J-Hong. Fleta going to be frozen, but can they kill him off? So far the answer is going to be no. They do manage to find the Hanzo. Fitz will go down.
Fleta's got Blizzard. They know there's no trance. They could commit to this. I think they will. They do.
He's going to go ahead, toss that one in. Denies the hook away as he goes into the ice block, gets topped up, and Poco will fall as does Sato. Front lineup broken down.
Beautiful fight.
A minute remaining now for the side of the Philadelphia Fusion, just still meters in front of B to get that time bump up, and they still have to basically finish the map.
Fleta comes in, ice blocks on the point, knows they have the trance advantage, so EQO's, his Blizzard gets wasted, and then they knew that Boombox just previously used his Transcend, so they know if they could just buy a little bit of time on the point, using the ice wall, using the ice block there, waiting for Marvel and Michelle to come back, they can Blizzard that fight. That was a great hold from the Dynasty. A lot of other teams would have been less patient. Speaking of patience, Carpe has none here, pokes his head out, and just gets hit by a rogue Fitz arrow.
Yep. Now the Sonic arrow going through, they see the exact approach. Amp Matrix greets them, the Maywall has to be burned as they try to reroute themselves, but it's a very slow-moving team. They do not have a Lucio, they do not have a Wrecking Ball. The fastest person on this squad is going to be Carpe with that Hanzo because he's got the dash. They have to make their way over onto the point, the Hulk pulling everybody together. And Matrix comes down, Neptuno going to be frozen, but Marvel's still going to fall. So now a window of opportunity for the side of Philadelphia to try to make their way through. It's going to be eliminated. Carpe comes out on top and then gets cut down by Jaehong, but now Michelle eliminated as well. Marvel swaps over, thinks about the Wrecking Ball for a moment, says no, we lose this fight, they get B, I have to stick with the Orisa.
All right, this should be B, and now this just looks very winnable for Philadelphia Fusion, especially if they get a stagger kill here. They're not going to happen, but they get Immortality Field.
Yep.
That's a big win in itself. Really scary thing for the Fusion is how this trance is going to work out, because Jaehong can counter this.
Oh boy.
Oh,
They'll try and stay alive, yeah. They freeze him.
Yeah, this Transcendence for Jaehong, you know, if they can bait it out with Blizzard, then use their Transcendence second, they'll have the extra healing, but the problem is, Fled is about to have his own Blizzard, so this ends up being, you know, support ult chicken with Blizzards involved, you know, and you use your Blizzard first, then you're going to force your opponent to trance first, oftentimes, so getting into that position is the hardest part.
Simultaneous holds coming in. Hook.
The whole hog is a huge boon for Dynasty too, because they can push them off the cart if it hits overtime, if Michelle can hold it that long.
That's a bullet, Marvel! Take it down! Forgot about the fortify this time, or was on cooldown still. Ant Matrix gonna be thrown in from the side of the Fusion. Fitz and Fleta both gonna be disappearing as the Blizzard gets thrown down by Fleta. Freeze is there on the 2, but no way to capitalize. Michelle taking a bit of damage here. Has to use the whole hog, gets back over onto the cart, trying to stay alive, taking so much damage. Ducked behind the barrier, stays in the fight for a little bit longer. The Hulk comes in, but no one else is there. They can't tag in time. The Fusion will be able to take Blizzard World down to the wire. They come out on top, they take the lead 2-1.
Seoul Dynasty having some great moments in terms of the ult economy and the timings, but also missing the mark with a few of those Transcendences. Jaehong just, you know, getting a little bit too trigger happy. Unfortunate for a player who's had 2 great back-to-back matches. Even the loss against the Charge, he played phenomenally. The win against the Dragons, but here, you know, seeing that trance button hit a little bit too early in some of these fights, and it's giving Fusion some great advantages.
A lot of these fights, this series so far, on a knife's edge, it would seem. Do we get more back and back? Do we get tied up 2-2 and extend into a game 5? We're gonna find out when we come back for Escort.
In my mind, he is the boy wonder of Overwatch right now. This guy, Carpe, is ridiculous.
Carpe, again, so many finishing blows for this guy right now.
Carpe's been doing some serious work on the cleanup here.
Carpe with the 2 monster kills, and he continues to do the damage.
Carpe, what are you doing? This is unbelievable!
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Into the iris. Experience tranquility.
Cease your resistance.
Philadelphia Fusion on the road, on the path to try to make their way back into that grand final in their home city at the Wells Fargo Center. It's coming up fast. Make sure you guys get your tickets because it's going to be insane.
I'm still waiting for them to run the Watch Point post-show version of that promo.
That was great.
Matches. But yeah, I'm excited for the grand finals as well. Fusion, there were doubters last year, and they made the full run all the way through the playoff bracket into the finals. They're already guaranteed play-ins, and this win, if they could take it on Havana, would bump them up in the seeding, give them a weaker first opponent. But let's be honest, I mean, this isn't whose line is it anyway, but I mean, the seeding really is misleading oftentimes in our playoff bracket because of teams' performances for the first 3 stages versus their current form now. Like, New York's a high seed, but you probably don't, you're probably not worried about them in a lot of ways right now, but just had to put that out there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how everything shakes out. Fortunately, we don't have to wait too long for that Wolf Kit Kat rivalry weekend coming up next week, and then we're into the play-ins.
Yep, Sigma.
We are so very close. Yep, Sigma. Here we go. Dynasty going to be on the attack right now. Fitz looking to stick through with that Hanzo to break down the barriers. And he's going to get pulled out of the spawn and eliminated.
Yeah, this is actually a lot harder to deal with than you might think if you're watching this at home, the spawn camp, because you have 2 exits, but they're both being closely monitored and ice-walled, and getting out of the point means you're under threat of tons of burst damage from the Reaper and then just potentially being hooked as
going
well.
out the other one there.
Yeah, they're taking the long way, which does get them out of the point.
Not much longer than the rest of them, but still leads to the same spot, the same choke. Now they are all grouped up. Immortality Field will keep them all alive here for the moment, while Toby benefits a lot from that AoE healing. Immortality Field will finally get broken down as the Mei wall falls, and Marvel is just getting shredded at the moment. See the spam coming in, just trying to keep him topped up. Nice pull around the corner. Ensures that Poco cannot get the healing. A lot of the members going to get cut off, though, by that Mei wall. Duo setting it up for the shutdown. Flooded going to get pooped into the back. Immortality Field keeping alive for a little bit longer. And you can see it's just a cycle of Mei wall after Mei wall, but the Dynasty can't advance forward.
Yeah, it's crazy Poco got caught, by the way.
Great pull in there. They finally managed to break through on the back of Michelle. Carpe with a sliver of HP. Will get taken down as soon as that Wraith form is expired. You would expect it. There it is. And Poco out again.
You know, this all started with Poco getting demexed. He remexed and then is the last one to die. I think that's the defense matrix nerf at work, because he had his defense matrix out to absorb the halt, and it looked like it was in range, but he actually got halted anyways and then pulled into the hook, and that's what started the whole thing. Soul finally breaks through, gets around that corner.
Sato nearly taken down, and there you go. Look at the double.
Yep.
We'll get finished off on the back of that setup hook from Michelle.
We could go with the jukes.
Yeah. Right clicks, however, will still severely damage a Mei, so he gets knocked down to half HP, and Fitz is just cleaning up.
Yeah, that's going to be very likely A. I mean, they're super far pushed up here, so there's some time for the Fusion, but the Fusion know that it's actually better to just hope that they're going to keep playing forward like this and have the cart only with 2 people on it. That'll actually buy them more time than just trying to contest this on its own. Now that they realize that, they're going to put 3 on the cart, which is going to be the fastest push.
They are going to move out.
Yeah, you know what? I may have been wrong about this. This is a crazy
going for it. Dragon Strike over onto the side. Not going to be able to find anybody. They just split over to the left, but that's a hook through. And nearly Poco getting his demect again. EQO going to be tossing in that Blizzard. Looking for a freeze up, but Fitz comes up with a double kill. Now Sato gone as he gets himself 3. Looks for Neptuno. Gets the tag. Can't quite get the finishing blow, but still looking quite stylish on this Hanzo throughout this entire series. And that still continues here on Havana.
Fusion used 2 more important ultimates on this point. We're going to watch Fitz again, but that didn't really end up being a good contest for the Fusion. It's expensive. And they were looking for the flanking Death Blossom. That's what Fitz just shut down. But I mean, the Blizzard was better here for Fleta. It's a Blizzard trade that you don't want to take if you're the Fusion.
Yep. Tidings now, nice forward, high ground defense setup from the Seoul Dynasty. Dragon Strike going to be thrown in from behind. There's no Immortality Field available for the Fusion, but fortunately they can just go ahead, drop down, and be safe.
Carpe still has a Death Blossom, but he's going to have to do another risky flank in order to use it.
Self-destruct in, Poco looking for a pick, unable to find it, but Carpe comes up with 1. So doesn't have to use that Death Blossom yet.
Neptuno over there helped give him the speed boost to get out there. That was pretty cool, how he sneaked around the top of that container.
For that pull, can't quite get it.
There's no blizzard for this.
Used.
Yeah, there's no blizzard for this. He just wants to drop.
He sees Jaehong. He's looking to get that kill. Just get rid of him as he was split off from the rest of the team.
It's crazy how much he's getting done without using the Death Blossom, though. He's been holding it for so long. He's been getting value elsewhere.
You have to be careful, though, because that blizzard is coming up from Fleta, and that can just freeze him in place as soon as he pops the ult. Halted now for the moment are the Seoul Dynasty, dwindling down to about 2 minutes remaining in that time bank as they get ready to advance towards this final corner. Sato going to be dropping down. Carpe into the back, looking to finish off Fitz. The Nano Boost going to be thrown forward. Now the Death Blossom coming in. Gets rid of the Immortality, gets rid of Toby. Jaehong going to be taken down as well. No support. Now no tanks here for the Seoul Dynasty. Just going to have to wait and go again.
Crazy.
Only the Nano used by the Dynasty. They're going to be coming back in with nearly 5 ultimates up.
Yeah, crazy how long Fleta lived there, but he wasn't able to use the Blizzard despite the support ultimates going down there. Very expensive, as you say, in terms of the ultimates on the side of the Fusion with Coalescence, the Sound Barrier, you know, the Death Blossom, and Soul has all the ults needed now to clutch this, unless EQO can Blizzard first. If he Blizzards first, it should be a pretty fair fight, and that's going to be the big question is, can he make that happen? He is playing forward here to prevent this approach.
Dragon Strike tossed out right here onto the walkway, forces them down. Ice Wall out, Supercharger going to be used by both teams. Drop down here from the halt, pulls Fleta and Marvel down to the low ground. Fleta going to be eliminated as the Blizzards come through. Sato's frozen over here by the cart, but no one's able to capitalize on that Orisa. Neptuno and Carpe, however, both going to be eliminated. Still solid steps forward for the Seoul Dynasty, but need to get that cart moving because they're now down to about 40 seconds left. Bionade onto Sato, they're looking for the finish, but now the healing comes back through the Coalescence out from Boombox. And Poco makes it back into the mech. Doesn't find any kills with that self-destruct.
Boombox, yeah, committing to the Coalescence here as well. That's pretty expensive. This old attempt here, the halt doesn't connect.
Still moving forward though. Neptuno getting taken down. Jaehong finds the Snipes and Carpe going to be eliminated. Marvel with a burn through him. Sleep Dart not connecting. The Hulk comes through, looks for the pull. It's unable to find it. Now they have the Ant Matrix up on the side of the Dynasty to try to finish this push through into B. On the high ground there is EQO, gets rid of Fitz. Jump up over the top, Toby trying to keep everybody else topped up. Immortality comes in, Michelle gonna be frozen. He tries to finish off Sato. And just to do so, the Ice Block gonna be on cooldown now for EQO, who nearly has another Blizzard. Gets that one online, uses that one immediately here onto the card. Michelle playing around the side, slowly going lower and lower. Now getting frozen, will be eliminated. Noti is ticking away. And they have done it, holding them off right in front of Point B. Philly Fusion poised to take this series.
They certainly are. Great plays from EQO. He used the Blizzard first at the beginning of that fight, initiating it, making it a better trade for Philadelphia Fusion versus Fleta's Blizzard, which got almost no value. Builds a second one there, buys enough time on the cart for his teammates to come back, and EQO has just been all around a superstar player on May, you know, in this stage 4 where it's become so important, so meta. Most played hero right now in the league. So for Philadelphia Fusion, it's a big boon, and Fleta and Illicit have both been pretty inconsistent in terms of the May play, and I think that's one of the big things that's setting the top teams in stage 4 away from the good teams. And another reason why New York hasn't been doing well is because Libero's been a little bit inconsistent on his May as well, despite being one of the pioneers of the hero. And for Fusion now, you feel pretty comfortable. You feel like this is a map, you know, that you're in pole position to win. We don't see a lot of holds on B on this map in this meta. It's usually C where that ends up being held. You know, you either finish the map or you get held on C in most cases. The full hold and the B hold are very rare right now. So you feel like if you're Fusion, as long as we don't really mess this up, this is our map to lose. Carpe is starting the Widow, but he'll probably swap pretty soon after they come out of spawn. You know, you could have a Color Hex moment if they were running the Pharah, but only Color Hex gets to have those 2 crazy flicks today, I think.
That was so crazy.
Craziest thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted about it, but very reminiscent to Carpe getting shut down by Taimu back in Apex Season 2 when he was playing Genji on Volskaya. back when he was a part of BK Stars. Look at that, I'm the one referencing Apex for
man.
once.
You and I are the perfect couple here on the...
Shutting, I'm taking over. It's my job now. All right, well, Carpe, yeah, just gonna be swapping over onto the Hanzo. Nice shot going through there. It's a dink onto Michelle, and already Dynasty pulling so far back.
This barrier here from Marvel isn't going to last very long either. That was kind of a poor placement there, a little bit too far forward. He almost gets walled. Oop. Fortify's good though.
Yep. I just love how it carries the momentum.
Makes it harder to hook actually in a weird way. Don't have it now.
Yeah, wall comes up. Marvel takes a lot of damage there, but does manage to stay alive for a little bit. EQO hooked in. Michelle manages to get rid of that enemy May. But Boombox is trying to trade it back. The supports on the side of the Fusion come up with 3 kills for themselves. Dragon Strike going to be tossed in, getting a lot of damage. Carpe finishes off Fitz, weakens Fleta. The hook is there though, Michelle. Coming out of nowhere.
I mean, you said it on Blizzard World.
Toby? Toby? Hello?
You said it on Blizzard Mountain, these guys are just trading back multi-kills.
Just walked out of spawn and died to the Dragon Strike?
Yeah, I didn't want to point fingers. I'm glad you were the bad cop on this one.
Anyway.
I didn't want to point fingers, okay?
Back over to the point. Michelle trying to wrap around the wall to get that hook through, unable to do so, but now EQO's got the Blizzard. There's that one in instantly. Transcendence is out from Jaehong. Immortality Field's going to be used. Marvel now going to be frozen up here right on top of the card as they try to keep him topped up. Wraps around the backside of that Mei wall. And with Poco getting frozen, Sato as well. Expect them to likely get picked off. Barrier gets dropped. Sato dips inside to try to keep himself safe.
Boombox here kind of out in no man's land.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's taken out. This is,
he's still alive. Immortality keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Now they find Fleta. Immortality finally killed off. Sato's still with a sliver of HP, starting to slowly get topped up, but there's no supports here, so we'll get them in the end.
Yep, now that Boombox is respawned, everybody else is getting staggered, and, you know, despite a pretty lackluster defense at first.
Oh, dear.
Wow, well, we really put him on blast, didn't we?
Quite literally just ran out of spawn and died to the Dragon Strike.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean,
it happens.
It doesn't look like it hurts when you look at it. It just looks like, you know, beautiful dragon. But,
it hurts me to watch it.
It hurts me too.
Like for the pull. Get nothing there. Supercharger up from both sides, but we've got that Ant Matrix. Speaking of which, Toby going to be using it. They won't in from behind. Not going to be blocking that damage, so Philly Fusion just going to have to scatter out of the sight lines of the Seoul Dynasty.
All right. This is one last shot really for Fusion. They need this push to be ult efficient.
Dragon Strike for Dragon Strike. Fitz comes up with one. Boombox taken down, still 36% away from that Transcendence. Now he gets another. As Sato gets finished off by the Storm Arrows.
And the problem is, this trade is better for Seoul. Fleta should be able to get back faster because of the spawn advantage he has because the cart's so close to the point.
Delays the Blizzard just very slightly, but like he said, he's going to be back into the action.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I said they really had one more push. I mean, they needed to be ult efficient. It wasn't really, they didn't commit everything, so they've got another chance here, but they don't have the same ult combos they had before. They don't have the supercharger. EQO is going to trade Blizzard here, but Jaehong has trance. Boombox does not yet. He might get it in this fight, but he's really going to have to frag. He's really going to have to do that damage.
If he can stay alive, EQO nearly taken down. Would have been absolutely huge. Immortality Field has now been used. So not going to have that for the Blizzard. Going to have to rely on Boombox getting that Transcendence up. Neptuno falls down below half HP. They start pushing their way forward. EQO manages to find one. Toby can take it down. Fleta now eliminated. Hooked in, finished off. No chance to use the Blizzard. Can they last long enough to get that mate back over onto the cart? Marvel tries to stay alive, but it's just not enough. You just cannot stay sustained. Cart will glide through 2.5 minutes back on the clock for the Philly Fusion.
Insane plays from both Carpe and EQO, getting that damaged on at a kind of an awkward angle there, knowing that Seoul had the Blizzard available, knowing they didn't have the Transcendence yet. Boombox built it in the end of the fight. That was pretty incredible. They basically won that fight only using one ultimate. And that is impressive, to say the least, because now they get to keep the trance for this next Blizzard that Fleta's got. Again, they can trance second, so Fleta has the ability to be the initiator here, and they have high ground.
Mortality used, Carpe eliminated.
Oh, look at Fitz. He is not messing around. He's going to flank around here.
Well, he's trying to, but now he loses out on Marvel. The cart's still freely going to be advancing for now. Dragon Strike will split them off a bit from now. Immortality will expire. He's a little bit of damage in, but now Michelle gonna get pulled in. Immortality keeps him alive for a little bit longer, and Jaehong's gonna use that Transcendent. Blizzard comes down, EQO uses his as well. So far, it's just gonna be Sato eliminated from the fight as Carpe tries to duke it out with Fitz and Fleta up on the walkway. They have to peel back. Fleta's still dangerously low with his HP. Will slowly start getting topped up.
You can see Jaehong's left clicks flying past Carpe here as he challenges him, neither picking up the kill, but stabilization here for Seoul Dynasty is fantastic. Oh. Well, he does trade back this time.
Manages to find that one. Maywall's coming through. And now Fitz gonna be gone. Boombox finds one. Philly Fusion back on the push. Seoul Dynasty crammed into a corner. Immortality Field gonna be taken down. That's the pull. That's gonna be Fleta eliminated. Full Hawk comes out from Michelle, trying to keep them pushed back, but the card is getting closer and closer. Now Marvel gonna be gone. Now Michelle, now Toby. Dragon Strike through. Philly Fusion gliding their way in. No one can stop them. And that will be it. They will take advantage. They will take this series 3-1.
Philadelphia fans getting loud in the crowd too. It's been a long time since Philadelphia has closed a win this cleanly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm sure everyone was starting to wonder, are we going to another game 5 for this squad when the hold was looking good on A? But if you clutch fights from EQO and Carpe and they're able to seal the deal here, Seoul Dynasty with this loss one step further away from that top 6 and one step closer to that dreaded play-in tournament where a lot of the teams that looked weaker in terms of seeding are actually very terrifying here in stage 4. There's a lot to talk about. As Jaehong's size here. It was a map they certainly could have won, but the clutch factor was real on the side of Philadelphia Fusion.
Yep, able to come out on top in the end. And like you said, a bit cleaner for the Philly Fusion, walking away with the 3-1. Very close. Nearly getting full health there on Havana, but able to get across A, able to make it to the end there and get that victory. You can see both of these teams dangerously close to each other in their skill. But guys, we got Emily standing by on the floor with Neptuno for an interview, so let's go ahead and throw down to her.
Thank you, Wolf and Achilles. I am down here with Neptuno of the Philadelphia Fusion. Congratulations on your impressive win. What a way to close out your last match of the regular season. Now, Philly's clinched a spot in top 12 for play-ins. So how confident are you guys that you'll be able to move into the next round?
I think like it's gonna be pretty hard in play-ins because a lot of teams are like improving a lot on like from 7 to 12. But I think we're confident. Like on screens, everything is working really good right now. We're improving a lot. And I think today we finally showed like we are a good team. But I think last weeks we were not performing on stage. So we're confident right now.
Great. Good to hear. I mean, you guys must be thrilled. And you also have the next week off. So do you think that's going to give you and your team an edge in terms of preparation for play-ins?
I mean, it's good to have like some like holidays before we start practicing again for playoffs. Like we're going to have some days extra. So I think it's good for us. And also we have time to practice for like the new patch because Sigma is coming. So we don't really know what's going to happen.
Any time for fun during that week off?
Sorry?
Any time for fun during that week off?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? All right, well, thank you so much. You heard it here from Neptuno. And again, Blizzard Arena, make some noise for Philadelphia Fusion. Wolf and Achilles, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Emily. See that they're feeling good about that win. Good to see they're going to have some fun time during that week off, but also need to be prepared for the play-in tournament that is looming ever nearer.
That is right. They have a week off because that's the end of the regular season for Philadelphia Fusion and for Seoul Dynasty. So long road, 28 matches, so many weeks of Overwatch all leading up to the playoffs. They might both make, but that play-in tournament is looming, as you say.
Yeah, we're right on the cusp of it all to see who can be the 2019 champion. But first, let's go ahead and see who our player of the match is, presented by Omen by HP. We can get that award out of the way for now. Wait on the finals till the 29th. EQO will be your player of the match for the side of the Philadelphia Fusion. Salad may play throughout the entire series.
I mean, absolutely solid. The guy made so many good decisions with his Blizzards, played passively when he needed to, used his ice walls correctly to save his teammates, and in the face of what could have been several lost fights, he was able to come up big. You know, he was aggressive when he needed to be, when he knows that Fleta has his Blizzard. He drops his first so he could force the earlier trance. Yep. The guy made a lot of really great decisions, hit the right clicks when he needed to. And I mean, this is a no-brainer. EQO by far the best player of the match here. in this final series for the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, Boombox as well, putting up some solid numbers with that Zenyatta play, constantly fragging out of control, but EQO with that mage is so very consistent in helping to set up those fight victories and get themselves just barely over those finish lines to get the win. But guys, we're not done yet. We have one more matchup getting ready to come at you today. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in just a moment as we peep the standings. You can see Valiant for the moment right there in that top 12 spot.
Yeah, with Valiant's win, you know, obviously we mentioned this earlier, but Fuel and Eternal are eliminated. So this is actually an extremely important match for the Hunters. I mean, that is the last spot to lock up here, really. I mean, these three teams are vying for position. Valiant has 2 matches left. The Hunters, this is their second to last. Or actually, no, this will be their last.
Yeah, this will be their
final
last
match, yeah. So the Dragons also have that match against Spark. I mean, this is what this is all about. The final set here for these teams, you know, the last stretch, the last hurrah. And Chengdu needs this win, or they won't be making it.
Yeah, and they need to make it as clean as humanly possible. A 4-0 for them would mean wonders for their odds of making it in. That matchup is going to be coming up next. So Chengdu Hunters versus the Houston Outlaws. Make sure you guys stay tuned. It's coming at you in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.